when we look at Vedanta, there is a little small story somebody mentioned one time. There was once a prince, this prince had a um, prince's father was the king. So the king had died. And then the prince was supposed to be the king. But at that time, the prince was also young. And so what happened is some people immediately came and they kidnapped that prince. And they decided they want to kill him. They want to kill that prince. At that time, what happened? Another group came and they took that prince and they put him in different clothes and put him in nice different clothes, not as a prince clothes, and got him out of that place where these people had kidnapped him. And then as he was coming out of there, coming out of those premises, there was another person who caught hold of that prince, another group who caught hold of that prince. And they said, okay, you have such nice features, you have such nice attributes, so why don't you, they have some kind of a, they're attracting people for some function. So you can stand here, people will get attracted, because he had a princely like look. So everybody. And then after that was finished, he went with another group. That group said, I'll give you some work. So they made him work. And finally, then, his ministers saw this person was working. So the ministers took him. But the ministers also didn't want to place him right away as the king, because they decided that, let us make use of him. So they decided to keep him, and they made a little bit of, they say they got his seal and signature and got a lot of things. They started getting it done. Because after all, he's the prince, right? So in place of him, they were ruling. Then finally came that a very wise man and a very strong man also. And he kind of came to that prince and he said, why are you sitting here with these ministers? I will take you to the place, I will take you to your kingdom, and I will reinstate you as the king. Or rather, I'll make you as the king, because you are worth to be the king. So now this story goes through all the darshanas, the traditional darshanas, especially Indian traditional darshanas. So what is that? It is the first one who sought and ought to kill him. They are actually the Nastika darshanas. Nastika darshana, especially the Charvak darshana, when you look at it, they say there is no Atma. Even Buddhas say that there is no Atma. So what do? They want to kill him. Like, you're not the king. There is no king. We want to kill you. So this is the Nastika darshan. There is no Atma. There is no consciousness. You're only the body. Or as the Buddha says, there is Anatma. You're all segments. Of course, Buddha's teaching is more profound, but at the essential level, he says there is no Atma. So then next group that took him was that was a group which kind of stole him away from there, right? So there's a Nyayika group. What is a Nyaya? Nyayas take that there is a Saguna form of Sagun. There is this Atma has gunas according to Nyaya. So what do the Nyayas do? They try to put you in a place with gunas. So they put him in that place where he's exhibited, in that circus or wherever in there. The gunas are coming. Their Atma has gunas according to Nyayas. So he's presented there with all the features and everything, right? So then after that, what happens? He goes and works. He's put to work, right? And that is a karma kanda. What is a karma kanda? They'll make you do things. You do this right, and then you'll get that. So that is a karma kanda. Everything is dependent on action. So the prince is again there told that you have to work. You have to. So this is also what we are told in the world, right? Only if you work, only if you do, then you will be happy. You will realize yourself in a way. You will realize your potential if you work, if you become successful. So that is true for young people. They have to do that at that age. That self-confidence and all has to come. So you have to do that karma kanda. But that is not the way to happiness. That notion is where that is not the way to realizing your true self. So that understanding is again misleading us. And then comes the last one, which is the most strongest opponent of Vedanta, which is Sankhya. What does Sankhya do? It is based on Purusha Prakriti, or what is called as Pradhana. Pradhana here is equated to the ministers. We say Pradhan Mantris and all, right? Pradhana means like those who control. Those who are. So here Purusha is in control of Prakriti. So the ministers have taken control over the prince. And then they make all things get done. So this is the strongest opponent to Vedanta. So there again, you're not pointed right away to the ultimate reality, right? You have to go through that Prakriti and realize that Purusha. But then comes this wise person and he says, you are already that Atma, whether you are in princely clothes or in that poor clothes. You are a prince. You are the king. You are a prince who is fit to be the king. So whether you are in poor clothes or rich clothes, you are that prince. So this proclamation is what Vedanta is giving. So this is why we say, the Vedanta Shastra is directly proclaiming that reality of who you are. And as we discussed, then once we understand that, then tatra ko moha kashoka ekatvam anupashyatah, right? When you know that, where is delusion? Where is that sorrow?